Hey friends, welcome back. I started to do a mini series on these LA Color eyeshadow palettes that I got at the Dollar Tree. And in my last video, I used this little palette in Lucky and created like a really pretty green eyeshadow look. So if you haven't seen that yet, I'll link it above. But I asked you guys in that video which palette you'd like to see me do a look on, and a lot of you all said you would like for me to do a look on this one here, which is in the color Playful, and it just has like a lot of pretty like warm earthy pink shades. So that's what we are going to be doing, and I'm going to do a full face makeup look using this palette. So I'm going to share, you know, like what foundation and bronzer, blush, like we're going to do the whole face. But I am going to first start out with the eyeshadow portion. So I'm going to go ahead and prime my eyelids with my Milani eyeshadow primer. But yeah, if you haven't been watching my videos on me like reviewing Dollar Tree makeup, I'll have those videos linked above or also down below in the description box. But I have just really discovered some great gems at the Dollar Tree, and like I've been telling you guys, I can't believe it's taken me like this long to try Dollar Tree makeup. But these little LA Color eyeshadow palettes are just $1.25 at Dollar Tree. So, and all the ones that I have used so far have been really great quality. As long as I use an eyeshadow primer, they last all day long. I would say that these eyeshadows are on par with like Wet n Wild or e.l.f. eyeshadows. So definitely don't sleep on these. These are really good. And this does have all shimmery shades in this little palette. Like there's no mattes. And the shimmers, they're not like overly shimmery. They're just like a standard, almost like a satin eyeshadow finish. First, I'm going to go in with the shade here. And I'm going to be using this blending brush from Profusion. I just got this out of a Profusion eyeshadow palette. And I'm just going to blend the shade in the crease. So, I mean, like if you have really mature eyelids, like maybe you wouldn't want to put this shade like in your crease, and maybe you'd want to mix this palette with some mattes. But honestly, like I don't think it looks bad. Like I said, it's not like overly shimmery, so... But this is just like a warm mauve, like a warm, I don't know. Yeah, it's almost like a light terracotta color. But as you can see, like it blends out really well. I find that like with the lighter shades in these little palettes, I don't tend to have fallout, but like with the darker shades, sometimes I do. So that's why I like to do my eyeshadow before, you know, doing the rest of my makeup, like before I do my foundation. I'm just flipping this brush over to like the shader side, and I'm gonna get the darkest shade in this palette. Also too, I totally forgot to mention in the intro, but like I got my hair like touched up and we added some red tones in my hair. So I don't even know if you guys can really tell a difference or not. I know it probably looks darker. Every time, you know, I first get my hair touched up, it's always like slightly a little bit darker and then it kind of fades. But I'm just gonna tap this on. But yeah, I think like next time I go back, I'm gonna get her to maybe put some highlights, like to lighten it up all over. Like I want it like a shade or two lighter, but I also want like warm, like almost like auburn colored hair. I just think that that would be really beautiful. I know it's weird. It's like I'm going red in summer, but I've just never really had dyed like reddish hair. Like if I've had red hair in the past, it's from when my hair was really dark, and then it was in the process of me lightening it up to go blonde. Like in those times, my hair has been kind of like a reddish or coppery color, but I've never like specifically dyed my hair like a reddish color until now. So, I mean, it's just like a really, really deep auburn, really, the color that we have going on with it right now. Okay, then I'm taking the Sigma E25 blending, and I'm getting more of that dark plum color. Plum, burgundy. And I'm just gonna blend it here in the outer V. I found that like these colors all like blend well together. They're not super different in tone, like once you get them on your eyelids. Like, I mean, this plummy burgundy type of color isn't like super dark. I think the shimmers kind of help the shades not look overly like dark. But I know several of you guys were telling me how much you love these LA Color eyeshadow palettes as well. So yeah, these are so good. Okay, next I'm gonna go in with this shade here, kind of like a mix of those two colors. Put my blending brush in there back and forth, and I'm gonna just blend the edge of the eyeshadow with those two colors. So I think like, as you can see, like with that darker color, I did get like a little bit of fallout. Okay, next I'm gonna just do a mixture of like these two colors on just that flat shader brush. And I'm gonna put that shade right here. So like, as you can see, like none of the shimmers are overly like shimmery. Just almost have like a light sheen. And then I'm gonna flip the brush over, get some more of the dark color, and just tap. Just kind of switching between those two colors just to kind of blend. I'm just using a makeup remover wipe, and I'm just gonna clean up the fallout and also sharpen up the edge of the eyeshadow. Okay, so I just did my skincare off camera. And first I'm going to go in with the Rimmel Multitasker Better Than Filters. I want to use like a luminous primer underneath my foundation today. And I haven't used this one in a minute, so I figured I'd use it today. This is one of my favorite illuminating primers. And I'm just going to blend that in with my makeup sponge. I'm going to be using the Revlon ColorStay today for my foundation. And I was telling you guys in one of my recent videos that I wasn't for sure if I was still enjoying Revlon ColorStay. Like, you know, as we get a little bit older, our skin can kind of change, and things that we used to really love, we don't love anymore. So I want to continue to use this because I know that this is kind of like more of my go-to foundation in the summer months, just because this works really well in heat and humidity. Whereas like in the winter, it can be like a little too drying and heavy. So maybe that's why I haven't been liking it quite as much, because I've just been more into illuminating foundations in, you know, the winter, spring, when it's like a little bit more dry and cold out. So this weekend though, it is a little bit chillier. It's Memorial Day weekend, and it's just so weird because I feel like a few weekends ago it was like so hot and humid. It felt like it was the middle of July, honestly. But, or at least the end of June. But like this weekend, the highs are only going to be like in the low 70s, upper 60s, 50s, and it's going to be a little bit cloudy. So not really the typical Memorial Day weekend that you think of, where people are opening up their swimming pools and having cookouts outside. So, but I mean, I have been enjoying like this cool off that we've had, because like I said, it was just getting a little too hot too quickly. And I don't really know if I've used the Revlon ColorStay in combination with this Rimmel Multitasker. If I have, I may have only used them together like once, and I don't know if I've ever used them together on camera. But yeah, I really like the combination of those two together. I think that looks really beautiful. But yeah, Revlon ColorStay has been my holy grail foundation since I started my YouTube channel, pretty much. And it would just be so sad if I didn't like this anymore. But I like the way this looks today. This is like the foundation that I wear if I really want my foundation to last me all day long. Like this is super long wearing and it can be extremely full coverage. So I was trying to just apply a little bit more lightly today. And if you're curious about like what shades I was using in these products, for Revlon ColorStay, I was using 180. And for this Rimmel Multitasker, I use the shade 002 Fair Light. And I always have like my shades of the products I'm using listed down below in the description box. So if you ever need to recall like what I used, just make sure that you expand and check that out down below. Okay, and for my concealer, I'm just going to be using the Rimmel Multitasker. So I'm just going to do a few little dots of that. This concealer is also like very long wearing, moisturizing, full coverage. Just my favorite. I mean, I've got several favorites, but this has just been my go-to favorite that I use most days. And then to set the under eyes, I'm just using the L'Oreal Infallible Blurfection. I kind of want to go back and get like the pink. They have like a light pink version of this, like, because this is just the translucent. Because I have been kind of getting more into those pinky type of powders. Okay, to set everything, I'm like, do I use a luminous setting powder or do I use something a little bit more matte since I already have like that glow underneath? So I think I'm just gonna use my Rimmel Stay Matte powder. It's been a minute since I've used this. But just like one of my favorite, just everyday setting powders. It doesn't add too much coverage or anything. And I love this paired with the Revlon ColorStay Foundation. Okay, I went ahead and took the foundation off of my lips, and I know most of the time I wait until the end of my videos to do my lipstick, but today I'm just gonna go ahead and do it now because I know like the lip color I wanna wear, but I'm just gonna use the Nivea Blackberry like tinted lip balm. But I think this color pairs so nicely with that eyeshadow palette in Playful. Like it looks really good with this eye look. And then I'm going to use a little bit of the Maybelline Lifter Gloss in Taffy. That's just going to intensify the color a little bit more and add even more moisture. I love this. I love this on its own as well. It's just, I love both of these products. Like I've almost used this Blackberry up, if you can see. So it's just one of my favorite. I mean, there's still quite a bit of product left in there, even though I've used so much of it, but this is one of my very favorite tinted lip balms. And since I added warm tones into my hair, I feel like, well, now I got to figure out how I want to do my brows. And I know that maybe the color isn't that much different, but I feel like with it being like a little bit more warm in tone, it really makes my eyebrows look more ashy. Like I've been thinking about getting a brow tint that's maybe slightly warmer, but I'm like, I don't really know. I don't really know like a good warm toned like eyebrow tint to get. And honestly, like I'm a little bit scared. I'm like, what if I tint it and it's like not the right shade? So I feel like it's just easier to use brow products to just make them the color that you want them to be. But I'm just gonna use this NYX brow pencil in chocolate. We're gonna see how this goes. And I know that NYX makes a pencil in like auburn. And I need to get maybe that one. Maybe that one would work better. I don't know. I just need something to slightly warm up my eyebrows just a little bit. Could probably also just use like a warm toned eyeshadow until I figure out some good warmer tone products. So, I mean, if you've got like warmer auburn type of hair, Let me know in the comments, like, what are some of your favorite brow products and like the shades that you use. Like if you use like the NYX Micro Brow or just like whatever products you use, let me know in the comments. And it's like sometimes too, like this one, for instance, with me filling it in, I'm like, does that look weird with my brows? I don't know. It's the only thing about changing like the tone of your hair color. Okay, and then I'm just gonna set my brows in place with just the e.l.f. Wow Brow in deep brown. Because it's like I still need them to be dark, but at the same time, slightly warm. And I feel like that's a really hard kind of color to find out there in brow products. But I don't know, maybe I could just use my regular stuff and it would look okay. Like, just like my neutral brown and whatever. Because I'm like, I feel like my brows just look too light now. All right, let's kind of go over top of things with this CoverGirl Soft Brown shade. I don't know, it's like I need a mix of warm and dark. I don't know, it's like now with like this shirt and everything, I don't really know if I want to wear this lip color. I feel so indecisive today. I think I'm just going to take this off and figure out something else. It's just like not the right, I want something a bit more earthy, I think. Okay, so I was looking through my lipsticks and I think I decided that I want to use this Revlon Lustrous Shine lipstick in Rum Raisin. Because I want something that's a balm, but I want something a little bit more earthy tones, kind of to match my shirt. Yes, I feel like that is just the perfect in between. And I might kind of touch up my lip line with the Revlon ColorStay Lip Liner in Sienna. Okay, yeah, perfect. Love. All right. Okay, now I'm going to move back to the eyes to finish them up. And I'm going to use the Sigma Pencil E30, this shade here. And I'm just going to smudge that right here on the lower lash line. Just want to smoke this eyeshadow look out a little bit. But are you guys doing anything for Memorial Day? Probably once I get this video posted, I think Memorial Day will have been yesterday. But I hope that you guys have like a great day with like your family or whatever you decide to do. I think Josh and I were just gonna do something with my mom and dad. Maybe get some pizza or maybe grill out some burgers or something. Like I said, I don't think the weather is gonna be the greatest for like a cookout. Then I'm gonna go in with this darker color. So that's kind of sad that it's not going to be the best for a cookout, but that's okay. We'll still have a good time hanging out, I'm sure. Okay, and I want to kind of soften up the edge over here from where I kind of cleaned things up before I did my foundation. I'm just going back, nothing added to the blending brush, and just kind of going over the edge to kind of just soften things. Okay, and then I'm going to take the lightest shade and I'm going to put that here in the inner corner of the eye. And I'm also going to use a little bit of that as my brow bone highlight. I actually really enjoyed using the NARS Laguna Bronzer the other day in my Shop My Stash makeup video. And I'm going to actually pair it with a Dollar Tree bronzer. Because like NARS Laguna is a bit more like neutral. It actually looks kind of cool compared to the Dollar Tree one. So I'm gonna mix these with each other, but first I'm gonna go in with NARS Laguna. So see, you can mix your Dollar Tree makeup with high-end makeup and make it just all work together. So I'm gonna kind of contour a little bit, and I'm using the buffing foundation brush from Profusion. I'm sure that there's some makeup snobs out there that would be like losing it that I'm gonna pair NARS with Dollar Tree makeup. But for me, there is no rules with makeup. I just use what I want to use, and that's all that matters. Just whatever I like. And then I'm going to use the Sigma F30. Just blend around the hairline. But yeah, the tone of NARS Laguna is just so good, which I think they have changed the formula. I know in my Shot Mustache video, I was saying that I think maybe they have changed the formula, but I'm pretty sure they removed like talc out of this product. And I think this one, because I have like the old version, I think this probably had talc in it. It doesn't have like the ingredients listed on the back of the packaging here, but... And I have heard that talc kind of helps the performance of makeup, but you know, a lot of companies are removing talc from products just because of health reasons, because a lot of times talc can get contaminated with other things like asbestos and stuff. But yeah, this NARS Laguna just has such a beautiful undertone. Not too warm, not too cool. Just taking some here on my jawline and on my neck to bronze. And then I'm going to go in with the Dollar Tree bronzer. This is the La Mercerie Sunlight Bronzer. And I want to use this to add a little bit more warmth and glow. Sometimes on its own, if I don't, well, not that I've really gotten much of a tan at all, but if I use a super warm bronzer when I don't have much of a tan, it can almost be a little bit too overpowering. So it's best if I kind of pair it with something else that's not quite as warm toned. So yeah, I hope you can see how that just created such a beautiful bronzy glow. I've actually really been enjoying this Dollar Tree bronzer. I mean, I've been enjoying so many of the Dollar Tree makeup items. And I'm actually gonna take just a little bit of this Dollar Tree bronzer on that blending brush that I was using earlier. And I'm just gonna put some of this at the top of the crease. Like, I just wanna warm this up a little bit more. It's always like my little trick to warm things up more is to either use your bronzer or use your blush. And I might even go back with just a little bit more of like the shade. Just kind of mix the bronzer with that. Okay, and now I'm trying to decide on like what blush I want to use. I'm like, do I want to use the LA Color blush paired with the LA Color eyeshadow? That might be really pretty. Like, I've really been enjoying the Wet n Wild Bed of Roses. It's like between these two. I think I'm going to go with the Wet n Wild Bed of Roses. And I'm just using the Morphe M241. This is just such a pretty peachy pinky color. Okay, for my highlight, I'm going to break out an old school, the Balm Mary Luminizer. And I'm going to use that for my highlight today. I just want like a really pretty, like light champagne gold. This is just such a classic. I know it's kind of hard to find these days, but I love this highlight. Okay, and then I'm just gonna mist my face with the Urban Decay All Nighter Makeup Setting Spray. Now that the setting spray has dried, I'm gonna go in with this MCO Beauty Miracle Flawless Pressed Powder and just this triangle sponge. And I want to kind of mattify my T-zone just a little bit because I feel like the spray mixed with like that Lumi primer underneath is just making my T-zone just a little bit too shiny. Off camera, I went ahead and did my mascara, and I just used the Maybelline Lash Sensational. So this is the makeup look completed. I really do like this eyeshadow palette. Like so far there hasn't been an eyeshadow palette from that line that I have disliked. So the last two that I haven't done looks with, and there was another one that one of you guys said that LA Colors has called On Cloud 9. That's like the same 6-pan eyeshadow palettes. And I didn't see that one at the Dollar Tree, so I'll have to go back and see if I can find it. And if I can, I'll do a look with that one as well. But let me know in the comments out of these two, which one you want to see a look done with next. This one is Almost Nude. And then this one here is in Fling. So just let me know down below, but if you enjoyed this, give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.